I want to welcome everyone to our call tonight. I am so excited that we get to have our first call with the essential life experiences. And I'm so excited to be able to hear about everyone's experiences with lavender from this week and what you all thought of the challenges that were given and how you use the oil. But before we do that, real quick, I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming or the incentives for this year, or not this year, this month. So I'm going to take you to the doTERRA website because I think it's kind of cool to be able to see just how awesome it is that doTERRA does these incentives and stuff, but also how nice it is to be able to just go to the back office or go to your doTERRA office and be able to view the things that doTERRA has, the incentives and upcoming things and everything like that. And so it's kind of fun to see. So I'm not even logged in, and this is on the website. So you can get the On Guard wipes. You can start the MetaPower Power to Be in 2023. And there's a challenge that you can sign up for. And that challenge actually is a 30-day challenge. And it has education that goes with the challenge. And so you can log on, do the education while you're doing the challenge daily, and it helps you learn more about the MetaPower system. And then as you scroll down, it talks about, different products that can help power your goals and help with incorporating more oils and products into your daily life to help you with achieving the goals that you have. The Hope oil that was revised, and how when you purchase the Hope oil, it's given, all the proceeds are given to be able to help get kids out of foster care and get them adopted, or get kids rescued from being trafficked, kids and women and even men. There's some like boys that are trafficked and they grow up in the program, or being trafficked, they grow up in that. And so when you purchase the Hope oil, the whole $25 goes to that donation, and to be able to help rescue people who are trafficked. The oil for the month, if you purchased by the 15th, which was a few days ago, was the white grapefruit. And I love this because it's kind of a sparkle and spice is kind of the theme that doTERRA went with for the specials. And it's kind of fun because the white grapefruit is not a very common fruit that people normally gravitate to, but the oil is super sweet. I love the white grapefruit oil. I love to be able to put it in my water bottle. And you always want to make sure that you're using glass or stainless steel when you put it in, and you only need just a few drops. And it raises your energy and helps you just have so much joy and happiness. And it also helps with detoxing your body, right? And then the 10% off oil is the cinnamon bark, which is great for the winter season. And you put it on you can put it on the bottom of your feet. You can put it in a cup of hot chocolate or a cup of hot water and drink it just as a cinnamon tea. But it's one of those oils that when you drink it or you rub it on, like it just warms your whole body because it gets your blood flowing and gets it pumping, and it helps you warm up. And then I love that the doTERRA Super Mint products are finally here. We can finally order the Super Mint beadlets, the oil, and the roll-on. And this came in our convention kits. and it hasn't really been available up until now to be able to purchase. They were waiting to be able to roll that out so that we could purchase it. And so I have to tell you, I'm super excited about the Supermint because I love keeping the beadlets in my purse. I use them all the time. Like I already went through one whole bottle. I love it that much. So, so they're available now that you can go on and purchase them. You can add them right to your order and be able to get those. And then if you haven't checked out the Source to You that's on the doTERRA website, it's really cool because right now, like right here, they have it highlighted where they're sourcing all of the different mints that are in the Supermint, because there's Japanese peppermint, spearmint, the peppermint from Washington, and another peppermint source. Anybody remember what it is? I don't remember. So it's nice to be able to.
Did you say Japanese?
I did say Japanese. That's the only one that, like, I know they get one from Washington. I don't remember where the others come from.
Oh yeah, I don't remember either. But yeah, there's 4 mints in them.
It looks like India is a place where some of the mint comes from. So there's just different places that the mints come from. And it's so nice that in this Supermint combo, they have such a variety. I love the flavor of the spearmint with the different forms of the peppermint because it comes from a different species of peppermint. And so each mint that is in there has a different strength, I would say, and a different kind of flavor. You think mint is mint, but really like the Japanese peppermint is not nearly as strong as the Washington peppermint. It has a different flavor. And so, so it's kind of nice to have them kind of all combined to make this Supermint. So it's so fun. And then,
Jamel,
yeah.
the bergamot mint
Oh, the bergamot mint. That's the other one.
is the other one.
Yeah. So, so the Japanese peppermint, the peppermint from Washington, the bergamot mint, and the spearmint. I'm like, I almost forgot about the spearmint. So that's such a great fun combination. And it's nice for being able to rub on like sore muscles and stuff like that, and or be able to help with like tension pain in your head and in your neck, your muscles. And so it's one that like I actually have on hand and use all the time now. So I love it. And then this is really cool to see, like you could read about where they get the cinnamon bark and how it's normally, you know, what we think is cinnamon when we buy it in the store is really cassia. It's not really cinnamon. So it's kind of fun to see where we actually get the cinnamon from and how it's harvested and how they work with the people to help benefit the people who are harvesting these oils. So it's kind of fun to see the different things that doTERRA even has, like just on the home page, that we can really learn from and you know, gain more knowledge from. So that's all kinds of fun. All right, so I would love to hear like what you guys all thought of the different challenges throughout the week, and if there was a day or an experience that you had that really was maybe a new experience, or something that you felt like it was like truly touched your heart with how the oil made a difference in your life throughout the week. So would anybody like to share?
I really enjoyed using the lavender this week and being able to, you know, think about it and be able to feel the heart of the lavender, and being able to, you know, think exactly about how I how I use it all three ways: the aromatic, the internal, and the topical, and how much I rely on the lavender for different things. Like, I've had the cut on my finger that I have been putting it on, and how much it's helped that to heal in just a few days. And so it's been really good. And how using it for bruises and the allergy thing. So I've loved being able to learn a little bit more about lavender this week. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I know I was sitting there and normally, like when I do Ryland's oils, I just put stuff on him or I make up his pills and I just do it really quick and I don't really even like think about it. And this week, as I was making up his pills, like lavender is one of those oils that I put in a capsule for him that he takes internally to help bring just more calm to his life. And it's also one that I rub on the bottom of his feet like every morning. And so as I was rubbing those on, I was like, oh my gosh, these oils are just truly amazing. Like, because he goes from being like super ornery to being like, I love you, Mom. I hope you have a great day. And I'm like, dude, where was that like 5 minutes ago? And that was like before we put the oils on, right? And so it really brought to mind what a difference it makes in his life. And oh, it's incredible. So Tara, you were going to share something?
Yeah, I just like Lindell, just thinking about like how often I rely on it, you know. Just like, isn't it the lavender that they call the Swiss Army knife of the oils? Like, if we don't know what to use and we have lavender, go to the lavender, because the lavender is literally good for anything. And I love that about the lavender oil. Excuse me, I use Serenity at night, and so it of course has the lavender in it. But every once in a while, I'll just switch it up a little bit, just to kind of, tell my body that you're going to get something different today, type of thing. And so oftentimes I'll just use just lavender, just to kind of switch it up. So I don't know. I use lavender for cuts. I use lavender for bee stings. Lavender is really good for burns. It's just like, it's good for so many things. So I love the lavender. I know in the Facebook, I don't think I ever really commented, but using it aromatically, I'm not really an aromatic lavender type of person. Like, to diffuse it in a diffuser, I'll smell it like when I put it on at night and that kind of thing. And I think that's when I like it the most, is to just being able to, like, when I do my Serenity at night, I have to take some good deep breaths of it, just so that I can smell the lavender and the Serenity and just enjoy its goodness. So love it.
That's awesome. Well, and it's so true, like, because when we breathe that in, it kind of gives us a different feeling, a different emotion that kind of goes with it, right? And it helps us like have more of that calm and kind of prepares your body and your brain so that you can sleep at night, right? Makes a huge difference. So
Yes, it does.
yeah. And I don't normally use the oils at night before I go to sleep, because I have to be able to be aware of what's going on with my son. And I used the lavender this week to help with some stressors and to help with sleeping at night. And it, one day I pulled it out of my purse at church, and Earl was kind of leaning over my shoulder, and I just was kind of breathing it in, and I just went like this and just went right up his nose. And he was like, oh, really? And I was reminded of when my kids were younger, and they would be so rambunctious, and they would be fighting and arguing and having such a hard time, especially in church. And as soon as the meeting would start, I would pull that lavender out and I would have them breathe it in, and then I would rub it on the back of their neck. And then they would just calm down and sit, just be respectful during the meeting. And I remember like being asked by one of my friends, what is that? What are you doing to make your kids be so good and to stop fighting? What are you doing to make your kids like sit there and be like total angels? What is that? And it just really has made a difference. And so it's been kind of fun to see over the years, like how lavender hasn't necessarily changed, but how it has really made a difference in a huge change in our lives. Right? Anybody else want to share?
I can share, Jamel. This is so, I don't usually take lavender internally. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And it was interesting. I had a few nights of restlessness, and, my brain wouldn't calm down. My body was like jiggling, and, you know, and I thought, well, I usually take Serenity. And I thought, well, let's try lavender to see what happens with that. So I took lavender internally, and it was interesting. It didn't put me to sleep, but it definitely calmed me down so I could sleep. So that was really cool. Taking it internally, I've always used it topically or aromatically, but I've never done it internally for that. And it actually really helped. So I thought, wow, another way to use it that I haven't used it before. And I've been doing this for a while now, and I hadn't taken it internally. So that was interesting.
Did you put it right on your tongue, or did you put it in a capsule? How did you use it?
I actually put it in a capsule and did it that way because I'm kind of sensitive to certain tastes. And I thought, no, I'm not going to put it directly on my tongue, but I did take a capsule, and it worked like within about 20 minutes. I started feeling more relaxed and things like that. And I was like, okay. And it worked beautifully. So within 30 minutes, I was completely calm and relaxed again.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, it's really cool, that lavender does that. Like I said, I usually take Serenity, but that knocks me out. And this just kind of calmed me out so I could just naturally fall asleep. So I was like, well,
Oh
that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, and I love how much calm it brings.
Yeah.
Like, because I can rub it, and it doesn't really, like, I found when I put it on topically, doesn't matter where I rub it, I found that it's beneficial no matter where I put it.
Hmm.
Like if I had like an injury or something that I wanted to really help with that, I would want to rub it like directly on it. But if I was using it for relaxation, I found it didn't matter where I rubbed it on my body,
Hmm.
it was beneficial no matter where I put it.
Yeah.
And it's one that we use in the diffuser in Ryland's room to be able to help him, like, because we do a lot to be able to help calm his brain down so that he can sleep.
Right.
And it's one that he gets in a capsule at night and in the morning to be able to help calm his brain.
Right.
But then putting it in the diffuser is really beneficial and makes a big difference for him as well. So it's quite nice. And like Earl had a few nights where he had restless sleep. I was like, well, use some lavender. And he actually puts it on the filter for his CPAP machine. So he breathes that
Oh,
in all
yeah.
night long. And then it
Yeah.
helps him have more of that calm so that he can sleep better.
Yeah.
So and then my older boys, when they won't go to sleep and I need them to go to sleep, I'll go in and I'll put it just on my fingers, and I'll just go in and just like rub it on the back of their neck. And, or if they're arguing or something, you know, because they're boys, they still argue a little bit. Not as much as when they were kids, but every once in a while, I'll go and put oils on them, and they just look at me and they're like, "Really, Mom? Did you just put oils on me?" I'm like, "Yes, I did, because you got an attitude and it needs to change." And it makes such a huge difference.
Yep, that's true. That is very true. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the challenges. It was really amazing. Thank you. I never thought about taking it different ways. So,
Yeah.
that's awesome that we did that.
Well, and I think these challenges will be really fun. And each week we're going to have different challenges. And this next week, we're going to have the breathe oil and some videos and challenges to go with the breathe oil. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to get to be able to get that out and experience that and have a lot of fun with that too. So, get ready for some fun new challenges this next week. Anybody have any questions or anything else they'd like to share?
I was just going to mention, I pulled out the emotions book, and it's kind of interesting, the different things that lavender does emotionally. It's the oil of communication and calm. And we've kind of talked about that and already come up with that, but it encourages emotional honesty and insists that individuals speak their innermost thoughts and desires. And, as you learn to communicate those thoughts and feelings, they're liberated and they become self-inflicted. They come out of that self-inflicted prison because they've used the lavender and they've been able to express and be able to have open, honest communication through that. So through lavender's courageous spirit, all are free to share their true self with others. So I thought that was really good. So I just wanted to add kind of the emotional, what it does for us emotionally, because, we know that all of the oils have such an impact on us emotionally that we need to keep that in mind.
Well, that's awesome that you bring that up, because like if you're trying to use it for that emotional aspect, I would say like rub it right here on your throat, right? To help clear your voice and clear out any blocks that you have from being able to speak your mind, share what you need to share, and be able to like have the confidence to be able to stand up for yourself and to be able to, really voice what matters. And I think that's pretty important. So I would almost rub that like right here on your throat. Like if you have a confrontation that you have, that that you're going to go into, or if you have someone that you're going to be speaking with and you want to make sure to have your voice and be able to speak clearly and have a clear mind and to not be anxious, right? And to not have that, because sometimes if we're going into a confrontation, sometimes it can be super stressful. And so to rub that on your voice to bring the calm to your body, but also to like clear out that negative pathway so that you can voice your concerns and your opinions and say what you need to say, that's going to be huge. So thank you for sharing that. I love it. All right. Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to share?
I did not do lavender because I realized I took it to work and I didn't have it at home. So I took it to work. But that being said, so happy got MetaPower back. Whoop, whoop.
So at work is probably where you need it. Put the lavender on your
Yes.
throat. So you've got to do your challenges this next week. Now you have to do the breathe and the lavender.
But I do
super
breathe
fun.
at work all the time because everybody that I pre-treat before my facial with the breathe, they are so happy with the breathe. They are like so they're very happy with the breathe. I already do the breathe. Like
Yeah.
they love the breathe.
Yep. So now you get to use it on yourself too. Like sometimes we get so caught up on using it on other people that we forget to use it on ourselves, right? And so make sure that you're using it on yourself too, because that's going to be super beneficial for you.
Well, and I rub it into their body when I get to neck and shoulders. I put it in my lotion and they get it there. If they like it when I do it, instead of putting my favorite spearmint and rosemary together, that's my favorite. I put the breathe in because they like it so much.
Yeah. So next week,
So-
you're going to have some fun experiments and maybe even like do some of the experiments with your clients and say, hey, what do you think? So it'll be lots of fun.
It will.
Lots of
So
fun.
I'm sorry I failed the lavender challenge, but I'm going to ace the Meta Power challenge. Like I'm so happy I got it back.
So Meta Powers in a few weeks.
I
2
know,
weeks.
but I'm still, that's my friend.
Awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for sharing and thank you for being here. And hopefully we can be able to connect more with more of our team members. And I hope that they know that they're missed, if that when they're not here, and we love them. We love all of you. And we will talk with you guys later. And next week we'll do the breathe
Thank you.
challenges starting on Sunday.
Thank you,
Alright.
Jamel, for everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Night.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night.
Night.